Good morning, happy day, happy evening, happy afternoon, whatever day, night, morning, wherever the sun is or the moon is. Welcome, welcome. Good that you're here. So, I am Courtney, host of the Stars of the Morning Light. And right now, we are going to enter into the Akashic 2025 yearly message. Welcome, welcome. I am live. So, as people start funneling in some, I will be saying hello to people. I will be greeting. I will be doing a bit of exchange. But this is a part one, and most likely, definitely a part two. Um, I put it out there as part one because I have a feeling this is going to need a lot of explanation. Now, every year I do this, of course, at the turn of the collective month of New Year. And I say collective month because the majority, it's January 1st. We know that others celebrate it somewhere in the midst of January. So I love that. I love that for the collective, there's a new year. Individually, I see that our birthdays are our individual new year. It's when we chose to come here and share our gifts, talents, and strengths. Awesome. That is your personal new year, is your birthday. For a collective, the new year is what it says it is. I know there's a lot of people that, would like it to be changed and go back to the other calendar and this and that. It doesn't really matter. It's what matters is when a collective recognizes something. And so the majority recognize January 1st, but yet then everything is also tagged on somewhere in January. So happy New Year, everybody. This message is going to be a lot. It is. It's going to be a lot. And I do this every year, like I said, in January sometime. I see that Seeker of Truth came in. Good to see you, my dear. Good morning, good day to you and Neil. Happy sunrise. um, Everyone, please, if you are new here, welcome. Do know that all of the videos at Stars of the Morning Light are for entertainment purposes only. Take what you want, leave the rest. Do what you may with it. It's a good time here. I want to talk briefly about last year's message because because there's going to be some some themes. They're going to look different, but there's going to be some themes that are carried through, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be touching on them today or next Friday. I believe it's the 13th at 11 a.m. in the morning. So, last year's message, I do this every year, and it was a two-parter, and then I even try to return to it mid-year. And I will be returning to this message for 2025 mid-year. I even typed it up so I wouldn't lose it. I will keep it safe and sound. Last year, I tried to emphasize the storms. I really did, folks. You can go back and watch it. There's a big turtle on it, on the image. Look for a big turtle swimming in the ocean because there was a lot being said, and with native prophecies coming into play. But I really was trying to emphasize storms and storms that we've never really even seen. Storms. And then I tried to emphasize that, hey, everything starts in your own backyard. Everything will happen in your own backyard. That matters. Well, personally, then I got to learn. I'm not sure if people understood what I meant by own backyard. So the majority of the subscribers here do live in America, the United States, in the States. So this message is for everyone across the globe. It always is. I'm talking to the collective, and I am just a messenger. But in particular, because I can relate more being an American, when I say things of in your own backyard, Americans, please imagine you get out of your apartment, your house, what have you, you get in your car and you drive 5 or 6 hours in any distance in a radius from your house, any distance in a bubble, because that is a connection. A lot of people think that maybe a 20-mile radius is technically their own backyard. I need that to be expanded to what would essentially be a 5 or 6-hour drive of the center of this is your home, 5 or 6-hour drive radius around in any direction. That is the backyard that I'm talking to you about. I'm very much understanding that when storms came, lovely people, it was in many people's backyard. But yet, because it was too far away, many didn't pay attention to how much it affects things. We are all in individual bubbles that are very tight, right? Our family units, our tribes. Then we have our community bubbles that expand a bit. But then the bubble I'm talking about, especially here in the States, because we are massive and huge, and all of these states are connected on one big landmass, we have to expand out to what I am referencing as in your own backyard. So there's reasons why I have to explain that. Because take for me, I am in northern Georgia. So Kentucky, I see you. The Gulf, I see you. Those are all about 5, 6-hour drives for me. Kentucky, I really see you. Understand that that's what I meant. And if that comes up again in either part 1 or part 2 and comes out of my mouth, that is what I'm trying to say. So imagine that right now in your mind, especially if you are here in the States. If you left your house right now and drove 5 or 6 hours in any direction, where would you be? That is your backyard in representation of there is no separation. Now, what happens in that area affects what's going on at your house energetically. Okay? So that is a very big, I guess, precursor to what is going to be a very big message, two-parter. I see that Lori came in. Happy Friday. Good to see you. I just really wanted to say that because last year, you can go back and watch. I said a lot of stuff. And I was really in both two parts. And then even mid-year, even in my mid-year message, I was trying to emphasize storms, huge storms. That was for 2024. What I also want to say is there's going to be a lot of different messages you hear out there, predictions, readers, all that jazz. Kudos to all of them, right? Kudos to all of them. And that's why we say take what you want and leave the rest, because every reader, seer, those who connect, good, bad, or indifferent, right? There is no judgment. They're all going to be kind of emphasizing different things. And mine is here at Stars of the Morning Light, I will most likely always be emphasizing more so the earth and the human connection with the earth. That is, well, is my focus always. And then when I do speak with the Akashic, that could be pulling from a bunch of different stuff, right? That is always how they're going to present it to me. It's because that's my focus. That's my main focus. I do understand how the humans are connected to the earth, and I do understand that the earth should be our main focus. It's where we live, it's our home. It's our home. The home that, regardless of where you are originally from, you beautiful beings, you lovely stars, regardless of where you came from, you continuously choose to come back. Everybody thinks that this is like you get stuck in this weird cycle that wipes your brain and there's no choice in the matter. Every single time you choose. Every single time you choose. Every single time. So, thank you for being here. That's why I started with your birthday is your new year, because that's the day you chose to grace us with your wonderful presence. That you went, I got some light in me. I want to go shine it there. I want to be a light on the earth, right? So thank you. You chose. So why did you choose? Because this place is awesome and we love the earth so much. We love the earth so much. And in the message of today and next Friday, you're going to understand a bit more why many of you have chosen. So let's pick a card, everybody. Good morning, Jackie J. Good to see you. All right, so this card from the Sacred Geometry deck is for today's reading. It is going to be the energy frequency that we can resonate with as we move into the following week. And it should relate to this message. So, all of us, let's pause, take a nice deep breath, exhale with a smile. Happy Friday. Let's choose a card, people. Ooh. I can feel all of you guys' energies. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday, folks. Let's see. I think we need to actually have two. I think they want us to do two. Oh my goodness. They want all of your energies. Were coming through no matter when you're watching this. I work nothing but in energy because all is energy. So I can feel y'all. It's beautiful. You all are so beautiful. It wanted us to have two. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Let's do let's do this one. Number 9, allowance. Allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. I'm going to hold this card up. Any of the beautiful patrons of Stars of the Morning Light that have definitely been with me for quite a while know that allowance is so wonderful. That is where we are, folks. Look at all those little bubbles. There is no separation. There is, I think, in today's world, and actually for quite some time, people mistaken allowance with like being a doormat. That is not the case. There's mighty power actually all the power in allowance. Please notice in this card too, and I don't know if you can see on the screen, it looks like this is kind of like floating in water, floating in water, like the waters of creation, that we are actually capable of having more of our authority and power to co-create and create for ourselves when we have a grander awareness of allowance. I'm going to read it again. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Many of the patrons of Stars of the Morning Light really focused definitely in 2023, 2020, a bit of 2024, on practicing being the observer. There can be a whole nother level of being the observer in the mindset position of the observer when we truly start practicing allowance, dropping the judgment, dropping the self-judgment, the judgment of others, judgment of all things, and allow. Allow all the humans to be who they are. Allow yourself to be who you are. To be requires a lot of allowance. And then, yes, you do that wonderful dance with the universe. You swim in the waters of neutrality. You swim in the waters of creation. And you begin to create even more so because you don't have anything holding you back, because you're just allowing without fear, without judgment, without resistance, right? Without opinion. The second card that came out, so that was just one card, folks. Woo, my cards know what's going on. Number 11, belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. I'm going to hold the card up. Now imagine if you put these two together. Imagine if you put, and I'm sorry, there is a bit of a glare. Maybe if I pulled back some. There you go. Imagine if you put both of these together. A belief, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. You have to have the frequency of allowance, removing the judgment, the opinions, the resistance, the fear, to truly exercise belief. Because that's all we really need, is we need belief. We need belief, faith, trust. And in 2025, regardless of all the words that I will say from the Akashic and having to explain everything, the main thing we have to focus on is trust. And it is, if we put allowance and belief together, this is what forms trust. This is what creates trust within humans. It will be a whole year of building trust. And trust self to self, self to other humans, self to the universe. The power of three. We build trust to ourself, showing up for ourself in new ways, in true peace and harmony of doing what we know is right for ourselves, allowing all the other humans to do as they will, trusting another human. It's always good to build trust with another human that will show up for you and you the same, because then we can witness and experience what it feels like. What is it? How do I experience trust? We have to experience and witness down here first within our human existence to even remotely start building trust with the universe. So when these two cards come together, and then we believe, we believe, we believe, we believe. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, Shelly said that she picked a card too. Number 11. Number 11. So that's wonderful, Shelly. Maybe towards the end I'll try to remember to grab that. Number 11. Some of those here, they have a deck as well. It's a wonderful deck, the Sacred Geometry deck, because this is a new year. So you might want, every Friday I pull a card so we can think about what kind of energy to be in throughout this week. I do believe, because this message is going to be for the year, they're trying to say be in that kind of energy throughout the year. But I will hold up the deck. It's an amazing deck, folks. The Sacred Geometry deck. You can go out there and get it wherever you order your decks from, because every Friday I do pull a deck. And Shelly, Seeker of Truth too, she tends to pull one as well as we're coming together. Okay, folks. Hello, hello, good day. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for catching this later. Thank you for hitting the like button for me, please. Thank you for leaving a comment below. Let me know what resonates with you and what doesn't. So thank you, thank you. And I want, before we even begin, to remind everyone that Lucky Stone 888 and I, for our Esoteric Tea episodes, starting this week, we are moving to Saturday night. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday night. So we ain't going to be with you tonight, folks. We love you. Hang out. Do your Friday night as you will. January 4th of 2025, tomorrow night, we'll have Esoteric Tea. And Lucky and I plan on talking about 2025 predictions. Predictions and messages are two separate things, by the way. Predictions and messages are two separate things. So I'm going to have a good old time with my buddy Lucky, and we're going to kind of talk about what we're predicting for 2025 in practicality. What might us humans experience when right now I am delivering a message. Very two separate things. In regards to that, Sundays, I drop a short, quick message from Archangel Gabriel now. I was told to do that quite a long time ago, and now I'm finally doing it. So I wanted to put that out there because you're going to see a lot of changes at Stars of the Morning Light and at Lucky Stone 888. And the biggest change right now is we're moving to Saturday night, folks. Be there with us Saturday when you're just relaxing, not doing much. You got all the chores done. Maybe there's some laundry still being washed. Come with us. Get into the chat. Be with us. We're going to start having guests. We're going to start going for much longer time periods so we can really get into the meat of the matter. It's going to be great. All right, beloveds. Why don't we just take a nice Nice, beautiful breath before we even read the message. Isn't that lovely? Always remember to exhale with a smile. It'll begin to rewire that brain. And why not smile? That's your sacred breath. That's your breath of life. That's your breath of manifestation. We don't give the breath as much credit as we would like, or we need to. So I am going to read the entire message. I'm just going to read it, and then I will start breaking it down. I see that Big Dad standing tall came in. Good to see you, Neil. Happy sunrise, my dear. So 2025 yearly Akashic message. Beloved humans of Earth, we delight in your transformation. The collective human race, past, present, and future, has changed greatly since the year of 2023. Remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn of humanity. The stem of life is the life force that binds the humans to the earth. Balance and reassurance will be key in 2025. Many will come to understand that to hold one's tongue is not to give up, but rather live with integrity and no fear. Many will do the opposite and speak nonsense for the exposure to the masses. Be calm, be faithful. Be reassured that you are mighty creators of peace and harmony. 2025 will begin the process of change. A cycle will end in 32 years. Now is the design time for how it will end. A new dawn with balanced life force is the motivative energy present mid 2025. Many will see and feel the change. Many will see the fire. Only those who have eyes to see through the smoke will be settled in their resolve. Freedom in creation is to trust the life force of above within the all. Do you trust? Humans will come to understand the connection of all things by 2092, after much care that starts now. Believe you not, the earth is your focus. Believe you not, mankind does have wings. Believe you not, humans are greatly loved by the Creator, for you are the troop to greater salvation of the all. 2025 is of personal fires, global fires, freedom fires of passionate resolve. To be one with the stillness of grace is to know your authority in the beginning and the end. Start collecting your thoughts of peace now. Pull out the thoughts of judgment, for peace is not within. Start collecting the beginning symbols of harmony, for they will chime in the new earth. 2025 is to collect, tend to, care for a new earth that many won't see until they reappear, ready in resolve and clarity of fear. Okay, beloveds. A lot was just said. I'm sure when I was reading that, and I will, so you know, on the community page, I'm actually going to type this up for everyone to see the words, okay? I'll probably get to that this weekend sometime. So it will be between the two shows, part 1 and part 2. I'm sure that when I was reading, many minds went, "Whoa, what did she just say? What did she just say?" So that is why I break this down. That is definitely why I break this down. So let's buckle in, folks, because now the message begins. Beloved humans of Earth, we delight in your transformation. The collective human race, past, present, and future, has changed greatly since the year 2023. So, I have to give I don't know how to do this, the biggest shout out I can. Whoa, shout out, hallelujah, y'all are great. Everybody gets a high five. I have to say the collective, and I knew this before I even got this message. I knew this back in like late October, November when the collective started shifting stuff. It was a long time coming, but man, you all, the human race, past, present, and future, when they say you've changed greatly since 2023, I can't even express to you how much the humans have changed. I'll give this example, and this is something y'all might not even know, because I don't know if I shared it before. New Year's night, so 2022 to 2023, I was with a group of people, so a few hundred of us. We all time jumped to witness 2025. And when this reading talks about fires, I can guarantee you right now, when we get to that section, because of the change that humanity has done collectively, the fires that were presented when we did that time jump in that New Year's to 2025, the fires that were presented then is going to be nothing like what it is today. Because hundreds of us did that time jump, witnessed what was going on, hundreds of us that you don't know about have been trying to help humanity preparing to change 2025. That's stuff that I do on the side. That's my own personal work. So, what I saw that New Year's Eve when I time jumped and we all went, whoa, whoa, right? And that's also when I started practicing a great deal of allowance while also covering this globe constantly. Before I even got this message, like I said, late October, all of November, I was like, something is up. The humans are all, something has shifted and changed greatly. And then when I got this message and they say, beloved humans of Earth, we delight in your transformation. The collective human race, past, present, and future, has changed greatly since the year 2023. You all, hands down, I cannot express to you the great transformation. That is why beings that are not associated with right or wrong judgment in any way, shape, or form are even saying we delight in that because, wow, I don't know what y'all have been doing, but keep it up. That's all I can say. It was when I received this message, what I got to see was very, very different than what I witnessed New Year's Eve of 2023. So bless you, keep it up. the human race is doing so significantly better and different. So further on in this message, I will explain that you all have done so much transformation within and around, right? There is no separation. As above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so around. You all have done such an amazing job of healing. It really comes down to healing. That I can guarantee you, you've shifted some of these numbers here that we will get into by at least 5 years. For at least. I knew when things were supposed to happen, but y'all have shifted things greatly in a good, positive, wonderful way. And that's why when I got this reading, I was like, whoa, look at how magical the humans are. And it's funny that I say the humans, but do remember that we learn with the Edgar Casey life skill studies, which a great deal more of this stuff will be presented mid-year, definitely through the Edgar Casey life skill studies. I will be comparing and contrasting what we're headed into that Casey predicted. Do know that the Akashic does refer to you. Originally, it referred to as entities. It did with Edgar, it does with me, because everything's an entity. You're just, everything's energy, all is energy, and whatever body of form it's in is referred to as an entity, right? Well, over time, I was like, I'm not going to use the word entity because that's going to kind of weird people out. So because I'm speaking to humans, I say the word human a lot. It's not because I'm detached from the humans, I'm human. It's because I'm used to now receiving messages in that way. They use the word human with me. So sometimes when I speak, especially when I'm giving a message, I just say human a lot. I even might say human when I'm talking about things in my kitchen, and my husband would be like, stop saying human. you know, say their name, say who they are. Um, it's just a part and parcel to being a messenger. So good morning, Miss Chloe. Good to see you, my dear. All right. So you all have done really hear that. The collective human race, past, present, and future, has changed greatly since the year 2023. Thank you. Keep it up, everybody. Next line. Remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn of humanity. The stem of life is the life force that binds the humans to the earth. Balance and reassurance will be key in 2025. So let's talk about this stem of life force. Because at the beginning of this, I said, all of you beautiful humans, you have chosen to be here. Regardless of you, whoever thinks that their brain gets washed and, there is no choice in the matter, that they're in this repetitive cycle without choice, that's not accurate. Do you not remember your past lives? No. That's because we're here to experience and make new choices, to disregard the energetic influences and stand in our own authority. That's a whole different episode. Here's the thing, though. When I say things, the remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn of humanity. The stem of life is the life force that binds the humans to the earth. Because there's that word bind. I think there's a lot of people out there that would take that as a negative connotation of, yeah, we're stuck here. This is an earth trap. We chose to come here because the earth is amazing. The earth is amazing. It's She's wonderful. She's worth saving. That stem of life force, remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn. Stem of life is the life force that binds the humans to Earth. Some might interpret that as gravity. That's fine. What it is the torus field that the Earth has. This is why people think the Earth is round, is because energetically, they're seeing the round of the energy that flows through the Earth and out. Same as we all have this field, right? It's about, as people will report, it's about 6 feet, right? This torus field that through the chakra system, because all his energy comes up and out, up and out. This Earth has the same thing. So she is more, I guess, potato, I would say, maybe oval. But then because people actually experience and witness, they don't know about it. It kind of comes out like a holograph. And that's why we think the Earth is round. It's not round. They didn't start teaching that until somewhere in like the 40s. Honestly, 40s or 50s. 1940s or 50s. Before that, everybody thought the Earth was more of an oval, which it is. So that torus field that we have and she has, that is more of the stem of life that connects us and binds us together. We are made of the earth, and so we are connected to the earth. We have all of the same properties and qualities as she does. And we are here for her in this body of form. We're in a earth form body, right? That stem of life to help her heal and help us heal, it is connected. So our torus field is also connected to her torus field. Our energy is very much connected to her energy. I've said it many times that I am really here for the earth, but how I can help, my gifts and talents, I know are here to actually help humans heal, expand conscious wise. Because when humans do that, it automatically starts helping the earth heal and expand and change. So that stem of life, that life force, that later they're going to say as above, so also to the all, this stem of life really is energy that is connected to all things. It runs through us, it runs through her, and luckily we can be connected to her. Now, when they say remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn of humanity. And I will probably do a video about that actual stem of life and how all this torus field stuff works, how energy moves through us and her. Think of the Schumann resonance that affects us, affects her, all of it, that energy. I will be teaching this to the patrons of Stars of Morning Light that are going to be going through a very in-depth study about all his energy. And this is a huge, huge part of it. What I will then do is take a bit of what the patrons will be learning and I will present it here to you. But to get the full scope of what I'm speaking about right now, join us on patreon.com. $5, eight, if you can afford $8 a month, please do so to help those who can only afford 5. Be with us. I teach twice a month. And we are fixing to go into a great detail, because once a human gets to understand all is energy and really understand that, believe it, know it, the only thing that stops them is their own judgments. So, remarkable balance of the stem of life is entering into the new dawn of humanity. That, in my humble opinion, is how the humans have transformed so much and greatly since 2023. Bringing more balance in with, as we held this card up, allowance, letting go of that we cannot control, letting go of fears, trusting, the balancing of the stem of life, refocusing back onto Gaia, which was a part of last year's message, especially with the native prophecies, focusing way more on our connection and our care for her, Mother Earth. That balance is becoming clearer and clearer and healthier. It has been way out of balance for a very long time, hence inner turmoil, inner pain, inner suffering in the earth and us. And when it's inner like that because of the lack of balance, well, we get to witness what we do outside, globally, with the collective. Now, if you are bringing balance into that stem of life, oh, I'm so happy. And it says entering into the new dawn of humanity. People are learning this stuff. They're healing, they're learning, they're embracing it. That new dawn of humanity is what people for almost 100 years now have been talking about, this age of Aquarius, right? New dawn of humanity, new beautiful sunrise of humanity. The stem of life is the life force that binds the humans to the earth. We will be talking more about that in 2025, but I think I described it enough. Balance and reassurance will be key in 2025. Now, remember, just down a little bit, they literally ask, do you trust? Do you trust? Balance and reassurance will be key in 2025. So that balance that we were just talking about, that you are creating within yourself, letting that energy flow as you heal, letting that energy become anew as you heal, that is connected to the energy that is also healing Gaia at the same time, because you are. That balance is a big word. Balance and reassurance will be key in 2025. Now, I am going to pause for a moment because I want to talk. You're going to hear a lot of people out there talk about the number of the year 2025. That's 9, right, folks? So everyone seems to have a bit of a different opinion on 9, but the majority will say it is 8 was some kind of completion, so 9 is a restart. Well, what I do know is when humans hear that, we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like, oh, it's a restart, I have to start organizing, I have to start doing this, I have to start doing that. My life is going to become completely anew because 2025 is a number 9. That's not how that goes. Sorry, I love y'all. I know what humans hear. I do the same thing. Like, oh shoot, this is the year that I gotta like get on it. I gotta work hard and organize and be strategic and plan. And that's not what it's asking you to do. That's not what it's asking you to do. And I believe Lucky and I will be talking about this even more so for our show that will air tomorrow night, Saturday at January 4th, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 2025, balance and reassurance will be key. When you are at a 9, when you're at a 9, it is the end and the beginning. It is um, it's not clear. This is the waters of creation. This is, okay, something was completed. Even if we know it or not, something was completed. What I do know had happened, and I talked to the patrons about this at Yule, as 2024, it did kick a lot of us. I mean, it battered us around somehow, mentally, emotionally, physically. 2024 did. And it served its purpose. My husband referred to it the other night. He said, once it hit January 1st, I was with multiple people that day doing an event, and my husband that night said the same thing, that all of a sudden that day, January 1st of 2025, all of a sudden they felt better. They felt better. But they all also kinda had this sense, and my husband used a great term. He said, "It feels like we're all punch drunk." He was like, "It feels like I just got we were all in a boxing ring, and we all just got our asses kicked, and now we're out of the ring kinda stumbling around going, 'I don't know, but I'm glad I'm not in that.'" Like, you just need to sit down and breathe for a minute. That's Everybody was kinda saying that, and it's that breath. It was that breath that the majority of the people I talked to felt that day. And that's why at the very beginning of this, I said it is a collective new year. Because when a collective recognizes something, when the collective recognizes something and puts their vision and thoughts into this is a new year. I want to see it this way and positive and great, and take a nice breath because 2024 is over. We all then end up doing that. So 2024 did, in a lot of ways, kick our butts. In whatever way that was for you, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, for a good reason. There is no such thing as coincidence. There is no such thing as, you know, something not having a reason. Everybody, everybody were making decisions in 2024, if they were conscious of it or not. So back in August of, oh, I want to say August of 2020. It might have been 2019. My memory is getting jumbled, but I do know it was that August. I think it was August of 2020. August of 2020, the energies around that Lion's Gate and what we were fixing to head into. So it might have been 2019, honest. Actually, it was before COVID, whenever that happened. The August before we shut down in March. That August, if we were conscious of it or not, it really doesn't matter if we know it or not. I'm telling you now. Your your soul self, the origin of your being, why you came in the first place, many, many lives ago, cycles ago, that aspect of you made a commitment to itself. It said, I know why I'm here. It is time. I'm making a commitment. Okay, so just hold on to that. That's what your soul did. If you're aware of it or not, that's what happened. I was aware of it, and I went, "Oh, yeah, yeah." It might have been 2020. I don't know. That's when I was like, "Okay, I guess I gotta start doing this." Your soul made a commitment. 2024. I must have been 2020. 2024. Well, that's four. We had 4 years of our soul nudging. Hey, hey, hey. 4 years of do I stay or do I go? 4 years of what is happening. 4 years of identifying what really matters to our soul. 4 years of looking into things. 4 years of developing what we trust and what we truly believe. 4 years. So August of 2024 to actually form some kind of structure, foundation. So 2024 were all those little decisions and choices to kind of finish up that foundation. I'm hoping this can resonate with everybody. I'm hoping that people can understand the words coming out of my mouth. So it had to been 2020. I apologize for my lack of memory there. Things do get jumbled for me. Um, August of 2020, around that Lionsgate, your soul made a commitment. All of that has transpired were these little nudges, these little things to start building the foundation for your soul and you, the body of form that holds the soul. So you beautiful star, can stand firm on that foundation moving forward. 2024, if there was any leftover residual things that needed to be kind of worked out internally or externally, if there had to be any letting go, at least even mentally, like fully checking out, whatever it had to be, your soul and you, it, the subconscious is already rocking and rolling for you in the future. Your soul and you were making these decisions and choices, and it was to finalize that foundation that you are going to be standing on moving forward. Now, with that being said, that's why 2024 kind of kicked all of our butts, because things were being presented, things were being very clear. You have to make a decision, or things were being, they were very painful for many. E- We might not even fully understood why, because it was energetically. It was to complete that foundation. And usually, man, that last little bit of a foundation, if the other corners of the foundation, cornerstones, if the other laying of the bricks, pouring the concrete was not leveled and balanced, we got to go back and patch a lot of stuff up. We got to go back and look at a lot of things. We might have to go back and tear down all the 3 other walls so that last little bit, everything can be structured and sound. That is what 2024 was, folks. Oh my goodness, take that in. No wonder everybody's tired. And that's why on January 1st of 2025, we all went, oh, let's take a break. And we could feel it. So now we're into 2025. Can anybody resonate with that? I'm hoping so. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the chat. Jackie J, thank you, my dear. She just said 2024 almost drained me of all my emotional mentality, like her mental state, emotional state, it was going for everybody. Now, with that being said, so thank you for commenting because we're all going through this together. But because building our own personal foundation in choices and decisions, not so much based on all the past influences, we really got to kind of develop out of what felt like a clean slate, because that's what happens when our soul commits to its purpose. We start just wiping away all the influences. We are going through this together, but yet because it feels so personal and internal, and it might just be me, right? It feels like we're alone in this because it is so personal to our soul. We tend to forget that it's everybody, everybody, everyone. So, yes, Lori just said that she did as well. She was going through it. So, when people talk about the number 9, which is 2025, most of them will talk about the new beginning because something was complete. I went into such a long explanation of what your soul was doing and you were doing, subconscious was doing, all of us were doing over the past 4 years to illustrate that if we are if we just built a foundation, well, then we got a ways to go. But now it's into some of the details. Now it's into, okay, we got our foundation, but what does the design look like? What does the actual design of my life moving forward look like? So when we hear 9 and people are just genuinely kind of talking about that it's a fresh start, new beginning, because 8 was the completion. Let's not put so much pressure on ourselves, because remember, balance and reassurance will be key. Will be key. Because don't think that there's not going to be things that, as you're trying to build and design, won't come in and say, oh, no, no, I don't know if you can do that over there. I don't know if you can do that over there. And you have to have the reassurance constantly of, yes, I can. I am a creator. I can actually do whatever I want. Yes, I can. If I might be doing something the world's never seen before. Reassurance, reassurance, reassurance. I might be doing something that my family system has never seen before. When I did a bunch of readings on the first, the amount of readings that covered family, generational trauma, generational curses, however you want to say it, how this energy has been flowing for a long time. If you're the one to break that and design something completely new, there's going to be influences that come in and go, you can't do that. You can't do that. Reassurance. Oh, yeah, you can. Whatever it may be for you. I'm realizing for many, that's a thing. And I do understand that. It could be creation of something here on the YouTube, a new business. It could be personal life. It could just be the complete healing mind, body, of soul of yourself. Living in that freedom of once someone does. Any of it. The design of that will be challenged. Okay. And one of the biggest things that will be challenging is that we spent so long focusing on the foundation that we hadn't really even thought about the design before. We hadn't even thought about it, really, because the foundation is so paramount. You need the foundation more than anything, and damn, that was difficult. That was backbreaking, right? So we're looking at, okay, time to design. We are in 9. That's all that is. It does not say that things will happen. It's the design time for what will be. Balance, 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 balance. Because when your vision is not solidified yet, and there will be things that kind of try to come in and influence, and you are hearing now reassurance, yes, you can. That balance is going to be needed. Because with all humans that design anything, as you beautiful creators are, well, we learn, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, this would be beautiful. How do we make that happen? Oh, that takes a lot of little parts. Do you see where I'm saying? Design takes a while. So we also have to balance it out with our everyday life. And through 2025, with that balance and reassurance and allowing the design to present itself instead of pushing it, you will learn even more of the great direction you're headed, even more what is needed for you and yours. Once again, I hold the cards up: allowance and belief, balance and reassurance. So that was a long explanation, but I have to go backwards to be able to come to the present and definitely talk about future. And that is what we were all doing. So in 2025, please give yourself the allowance and grace and everyone else, because we are forming a whole new vision, designing it for ourselves. And as I just said, it's not just those that are having eyes to see and ears to hear here at Stars of the Morning Light. This is the collective doing it as individuals. So we have allowance for ourselves, mistakes, unclarity. Oh, I missed that little part. Allowance for the universe, as we have reassurance and belief that it does care about us and our soul has a direction now. We allow these things to happen. We trust, we have reassurance and faith and belief that everything's working out. That is, like I said, they even ask you, do you trust? Probably all of 2025, I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be constantly asking, do you trust? Believe. And if you have allowance and you release the judgment, well, then you have nothing but trust. Okay. I'm looking at my time, folks. Once again, I want to remind people Lucky Stone 888 and I are moving to Saturday night starting January 4th, 2025, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out, folks. Be in the chat. Enjoy. It's always a good time when Lucky and I get together, even if we start arguing like brother and sister. It's a good time. Next line. Many will come to understand that to hold one's tongue, which they put in quotations because they're trying to use a reference that we would know. Many will come to understand that to hold one's tongue is to not give up, but rather live with integrity and no fear. That goes into a lot of what I was just talking about, folks. As you are designing, as you are understanding what to let go of and what to bring in, there will be resistance by others towards you. There's going to be a lot said in the world, As the next line is, many will do the opposite and speak nonsense for the exposure to the masses. Now, that is mostly talking about social media. In your personal life, it could be loved ones. It could be the social media trying to influence you. So, to hold one's tongue is not to give up. That is not, I'm now a doormat, and yes, you've influenced me enough that I'm going to just stop. I'm going to go back to the old design. It's not. It's to just be quiet and let that roll off your back because you are in balance and reassurance, and they are not. Many will come to understand that to hold one's tongue is to not to give up, but rather live with integrity and no fear. You are building the trust. Integrity, folks, I love the word. I love the word. We tend to see integrity, trying to have integrity, and we try to put pressure on ourselves to have integrity because we put it into, unfortunately, a form of people pleasing. I have integrity because I want to look good for my coworkers. I want to look good for others. I want to look good in the community. That is not a healthy form of integrity. Integrity is building trust within the self to self. That is what I meant when there's three aspects to building trust: self to self to others, and self to the universe. True integrity starts, the heart of it is showing up for yourself, is showing up for yourself, and no fear. The aspect of having no fear in that and holding your tongue. Okay, everybody, you can say whatever you want out there on social media land. You can even say everything you want in my own damn living room. I say nothing because your words are not going to influence and affect my new design. This is my design. I have integrity with myself. I'm going to show up for myself, and I'm going to have no fear about it. And when we can establish no fear, so therefore we don't even, when you truly have no fear, you don't need to argue your point. When you truly have no fear mixed in with personal integrity, you don't need to explain yourself. Just holding that, just putting it out there. Y'all might hear me explain myself a lot, but that's because I am a part of this YouTube system, right? I am a part of social media. Many of you are not. When you have no fear and true self-integrity, you stand. And you usually stand in silence. It is not giving up. It's just knowing who you are. It's trusting yourself. And then others get to witness that. And there's going to be some humans that witness you responding like that, changing, transforming, alchemy like that. And they're going to witness it. And they're going to go, wow, I want to be a pillar like that. How does that happen? And then that's how trust to self and another can start to form. We only trust those in our lives that we witness have the same qualities that we enjoy in ourselves and or qualities that we would like to obtain. How do you do that? Trust from self to another. So we're building. Yet many will do the opposite and speak nonsense for the exposure to the masses. Well, I think y'all know. There's going to be a whole lot said, a whole lot said. And we're going to be talking about that more so. I think even Lucky and I will be talking about that, from AI to all the people talking for likes, hits, money, nonsense. I mean, they literally use the word nonsense. And speak nonsense for the exposure to the masses. So remind yourself of this. I can't wait until I'm 6 months into 2025 and I can remind you all of that as well, because I do know what the summer is going to look like. Nonsense. Nonsensical. Wow. Wow. So just know that. And you are designing. You are keeping yourself quiet and just allowing them, with the allowance, to be who they are in their nonsensical words. Be calm. Be faithful. Be calm. Be faithful. I'm going to end in this part. I am thinking that this message might actually end up being a 3-parter, but that's fine. Be calm. Be faithful. Be reassured that you are mighty creators of peace and harmony. You are mighty creators of peace and harmony. Be reassured that you are. So that was a lot said, and we haven't even gone halfway through. Next Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time that is for you on this beautiful globe, I will be live. If you're catching this later, it's still a great message to listen to. So please leave a comment below. It will help with the circulation of this message. This might actually be a 3-parter because there's so much to be said. And I had to do that long explanation as to what your soul's been doing. This is what your soul's been doing, you beautiful stars, you beings that are helping us walk into the new dawn of humanity. That's going to take quite a lot of design. And it's going to take, because everything is going to be fresh and new in that new dawn, it's not so easy to see what the design would look like, because we know, our soul knows, that we can't go off of the old plans. We have to form completely anew. We have to design completely anew. A lot of what, all of the designs of the past lives, past family generational stuff, past collective stuff, is not going to work for us personally and collectively moving forward. So the design in 2025, number 9, is going to take a bit. So allow, have balance, be reassured that you that is hearing this right now, you be reassured that you're a mighty creator of peace and harmony. Now, we haven't seen how that's been created in quite a while. We're just designing it now, folks, for that new dawn. More message will be coming out. More message. Now, what I'm thinking might be 3 parts. um, is for all of you. And this is what we're all going through individually, collectively. 2025 has great things to it. And as I said at the beginning, if you went back and listened to my 2024 messages, I do know, well, it's not even, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just a messenger. I'm giving you all messages to help. And so the messages even from 2024, you could go back and listen to see how that actually played out. Where we head into next week is going to need more detail. So that's why I'm kind of shutting it down now. 2025 can be really good, productive, good, all brand new. But it takes you holding your tongue in that balance and reassurance, that self-integrity and no fear. That's why they opened with it. Be calm, be faithful. So I will see you all next Friday. And if you're catching this later, thank you for listening. Stay tuned to Stars of the Morning Light, because this is a pretty big, hefty message. And thank you all for being in the chat. Thank you all. Did Mary Wynn's come in? Hi, Mary. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you all for being here. For those who are new, this is what I do. So cheers to everyone. Good to have you around. Once again, Lucky Stone 888 and I are moving to Saturday nights. Tomorrow night, folks. Get your popcorn ready. Get your tea made. I don't know, crack a beer open, whatever you got to do. Come hang out. Be in the chat. We're going to be talking about predictions for 2025 that really have not much to do with this message, or how does this look in everyday life. Sunday, expect messages from Archangel Gabriel, because those come out at every Sunday now. So have a good weekend, folks. I'll catch you later. Be safe on the flip side. Bye, folks.